Good good morning, everyone. So I'm on a little quicker than I thought I was. I got home, got cleaned up after the gym, and I'm now Peaches, quit babe. Um and totally I'm now having my post-workout snack. I had a Jack Link's Tender Bites stick, and I'm having an apple that I chopped up, and this was part of my breakfast, but I didn't drink it yet. It's Premier Protein chocolate peanut butter, and it's so good, and it does taste like a liquid Reese's peanut butter cup. Very, very good. I had planned on going to the local coffee shop. Hello, Cool Gamer, and hello, William the Unknown. Shout out. Thank you both for joining me this morning. I had planned to go to the local coffee shop, Rhubarb Market. That's why I kind of had my apple ready to go and everything, but they're not open today because it's Good Friday. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I need to definitely make sure, because I really last Thursday after I went to the gym and I went to Rhubarb after. I really enjoyed it. Was a really great way to like kind of take a moment to myself after the gym, and then go home. So I was really disappointed I didn't get to do that today. I believe it will just be me today. So I apologize for that in advance, I guess. So we just got done with state testing. We had state testing Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It started at I'm choking on my apple. It started at about 9:20 in the morning. So this is our school day starts at about 8:05, and we go to 3:30 in Central Time. And so they have the first thing in the morning. This is kind of what the daily schedule typically looks like. They have assembly from 8 to 8:10, 8:15 ish, and then they go to their classrooms, do lunch count, and then start their day. For fifth grade, which is where I start at, they have band from 8:30 to 9. So this past week, they've come in, they've went to their class, they've went to band, they go to the bathroom and come back because they can't leave the room once testing starts. Now, as adults, we can leave the room, but they can't. So use the bathroom, make sure they have sharpened pencils, make sure they have everything that they need for the test, and then they sit in silence for 2 hours. No music, no nothing. So, because I'm a fifth grade aide, para, whatever you want to call it, I had to help proctor tests. That was the most boring 3 days of my life. Last year, fourth grade only had like about 30 minutes of testing in the afternoon, which is when I worked with the fourth grade. So I didn't really deal with a lot of the testing last year. Oh my gosh. Some of the kids flew through testing and like we're done in a half an hour. And I'm looking at the teacher and all we can do is go, okay, hopefully you tried your best. And to end the test session, either myself or the teacher had to physically end it. So that we could make sure that they hadn't like skipped over any questions. And I caught one of the ones I caught. And he was done in like 35 or 40 minutes. 30 math questions. And I said, "Are you sure that you took your time?" "Yeah, I'm done." Okay. So I ended the session for him and he read. And I'm like, how can now, granted, this was a real kid who was really good in math, but I'm still like, how are you able to answer these questions in this short amount of time? Like, really? Like, please explain to me because we're at a loss. So we that was Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So that happened in the morning, and they would have a break, like it would end, they'd take a break like at 10:30, and they'd get a 20-minute break, which is their recess time. So they'd go out, run around, and then come back and do more testing until lunch. So they were literally testing with a 1 20-minute break from 9:20 in the morning to 12:30-ish, 12:40-ish. And that's a long 3 days. In the afternoon, after lunch, they have music and PE. And then we have the last class of the day, which they went back and forth on what they were wanting to do. But what we ended up doing was they wrote a story and then they typed it. We just kind of gave them like busy work to do. Yesterday was fun though. Yesterday was supposed to be their Easter party. And so since we had state testing all week, we just did movie day. It was a movie day. They had band. Then we had movie. Then we had study hall, because some people needed to go to the library. Some people had guidance. Some people had Spanish. So that was all done. And then they went back to the movie until lunchtime. And then they had specials. And then after that, before they went home, was their physical Easter party with like the treats and stuff. So, I mean, it was a nice way to end the week, because it was like, all right, we're all kind of bored now. And one of the kids is like, I've read 3 books in 3 days. I'm like, great, that's more word count. So, just, and testing now is so different, because I remember when we had state testing growing up, we were able to, like, all of ours was paper, and you had to fill in the bubble. And so having them all do it on computers was completely weird to me. So if you remember because I know some schools don't even do state testing. If you remember state testing, what was state testing like for you? Because I remember the books. Like you answered you had the questions in the book, and then you had like a bubble fill sheet. And you filled in the correct bubble that corresponded with the question. And I know some people like made patterns, like on the math ones. I did it. I know I did it. That's why I kind of was like, I can't say too much about him like being fast, because I did it. I didn't care. Because here's the thing about state testing. It has no bearing on these students. They told us at training, because we have to go through a proctor training. And then we have a whole bunch of stuff we have to read and sign that we, and turn in. They aren't going to get these results until at least like October or November. And I'm going, okay, that doesn't help us. These tests really don't. They don't. So, Peaches, quit picking the floor, babe. Peaches is in a picky mood, and I don't know how to help her not pick. Pick, 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 pick. I forgot to post on Instagram that we were live, so I was doing that real quick. I need to come up with some put some topics in a jar and sometimes pull them. I have noticed that it's easier to have a live stream with other people than it is by yourself. And here's why. You have someone to talk to. Like, you have something to converse about on a topic. Like, if Sammy or Christy were here, like, maybe they would talk about state testing when they were in school, or like the kids' experiences, or maybe someone in the chat wants to throw in if they have state testing when they were in school, or if their kids or if they have kids and they're in school and doing state testing. It's very different to live stream by yourself. And I don't do it very often because typically Christy or Sammy or someone's on with me, but Christy is with family today because there's no school. Sammy's off, but doing some other stuff. Crisco's Country Life, welcome in. Glad that you're hanging out with us today. So I'm on my own today. It's very different. I don't do it very often. Okay, so TikTok makes me spend money. And Sam laughs at me at this point because it's like squirrel and then squirrel and then squirrel. And he is always like, it's your money. Do with it what you will. So I'd been seeing these. I will come back to what I was going to say. Are y'all ready for Easter? Yeah, I'm off today. Sam has the weekend off. We have tickets to go see the new Fantastic Beasts movie. And so that's what we're going to do for Easter tomorrow. We're going to we have the Regal Cinema Pass. And so we are able to pay a discounted rate to see movies and the like new releases and like because some like opening weekend aren't included with our pass, or like the 21 and over area isn't included with our pass. We do have to pay a fee, and we each paid $5. But let me tell you, this place is nice. It's got recliners with heated seats, and we saw it was like a mob movie. I forget what it's called. It was a movie that Sam had wanted to see, and it had like only like 4 or 5 actors in it, and you like never really knew which direction the movie was gonna go. It could go in like one of 50,000 different directions, even between these just 7 people or 5, however many people were in it. And so we saw that in the 21, and we're like, yeah, this is nice. We will pay like the $5 fee to see, movies here. So we're going to do that tomorrow. We have the, I think, like 11:30 showing. So we'll end up eating lunch at the movie theater, I think. You're boiling crawfish today. That's awesome. Have y'all ever ate boiled crawfish? I cannot speak for Sam. I don't think he has, but I could be wrong. But I cannot have any type of fish or shellfish products. I am allergic. So I have not had we enjoy movies too. So expensive these days. So, well, Chris Cross, if you have Regal Cinema, and Sam and I have a video coming out about this, I think in a couple weeks. You can pay for an unlimited movie pass, and I think it's like $19 per person. And it's all you can watch movies all month. However, I think it's like a 3-month commitment. So we're paying $40 a piece for that. And then if there's something that we want to see opening weekend or in the 21 and older, we have to pay a little like on top of that. But really, if you figure, $20 per person, then it's pretty, and you just see them like in the regular theater. It actually really pays for itself. If you don't plan to like buy any snacks or anything there. Like typically we do tend to eat at the theater because we make it dinner and a movie because they have really good food, but you don't have to. And I know a lot of places don't worry about if people bring like snacks in. They don't say anything anymore. And your grandmother's name was Lena. Well, that was my grandmother's name as well. I'm named after her and my aunt. So I, but yeah, it is so. If one of my friends is like, I can't believe that you're able to go to the movies. It's just so expensive. Like for um, my family of 4, it's like $100, and I'm like, that's insane. You really need to get the movie pass. Even if you just spend the $20 per person for 3 months, you can see a lot of movies in a month. As you can even watch back-to-back movies as long as the start time is, I think, 90 minutes in between. So if we see a movie at 11:30 tomorrow, since we're already at the theater, as we can, once we're out of the movie, we can see what's the next closest time, and if for the next showing of a movie, and see if it's something that we want to see, and then go just pay for our tickets and go, and we're already there. Last time we went to a movie, we got the free refill on popcorn and drinks, $20. I told the family, y'all better read up. Hold on just a second. Yeah, the movie theaters here, as long as you get a large, you get one free refill on your popcorn and one free refill on your drink. Like they'll mark it on your cup. But like ours has like a full dining menu. So we'll probably end up grabbing something when we go. We'll put in our order because we've done this before. You put in your order and they give you like a little buzzer, like when you're waiting on a table, and your food's like in to go containers, and then you just go back to because the 21 and older area has their own concessions as well. So you just go back to the concessions, give them your buzzer, and then take your food back to your theater. Do you have an all-time favorite movie? Oh gosh, an all-time favorite movie. I don't think I have an all-time favorite. I go through cycles, and um I really like I like the old John Wayne and Dee Martin movies. I grew up watching them with my dad. And so, like things like El Dorado, and Texas Across the River, and movies like that, I really I can put in, and I used to do this when when I had a boat anchor TV, and it was starting to go out like in the corner, like it wasn't like you could still see it, but like part of the TV screen like would change colors. So mom and dad got a new TV, and I got the old TV, and we picked up a VCR at a garage sale for 50 cents. And so like I would just put the same movie. I'd put a movie in the VCR, and once it started getting towards the credits, um I'd stop it, and I'd rewind it, and I'd start it over. So like I think I watch movies over and over and over and over again. Sometimes I think it drives Sam up the wall because he'll be like, "What do we watch?" And I'm like, "I don't know," and I'll just put it on Friends or Big Bang Theory or something like that, and he'll be like, "Okay, whatever." Like, sorry, honey. So um if when it comes to TV, like when it comes to TV series, I really like the TV series Army Wives. It came out um when when Sam was on active duty. I didn't know anything about this TV show until I was hanging out with one of my friends. Her name was Lynn. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, did you hear?" And I'm like, "Hear what?" And she's like, "They are filming a part of Army Wives on base." And I looked at her and I went, "They're filming what?" And she just looked at me, and her eyes got massive. And she's like, Army Wives, the TV show. And I'm like, is it a reality show? Like, I already lived this. I don't want to watch a TV show about it. And she goes, no, we have to watch this. So she had season 1 on DVD. So she's like, come out. You're going to go home. Go get into, because we had just come from somewhere. So we were like kind of dressed up. She's like, go home and put on comfortable clothes. Because she lived like 3 blocks away max from our house. Because Sam and I were in E1 to E4 housing, and she, even though he was, and yeah, we were in E1 to E4 housing, and she was in E5 to E7 housing, and they like connected. So she's like, go home, change, and come back. And so I did, and I grabbed some snacks, and we watched it, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I really liked the TV series because they didn't try to gloss over it or make it look like it was some glamorous job. They showed, the like how hard it was and the different difficulties that not only Army wives, but military spouses in general deal with. And so I like that TV series a lot. And when I was on TikTok this morning, Sally Pearson, I think is who it was. Well, the gal who plays Roxy in that show popped up on my FY for you, and I was like, oh my gosh, she played Roxy. I was like freaking out. 50 cents, great deal. Yeah, 90s garage sales, 90s, early 2000s. Have you ever been to Gatlinburg, Tennessee? We have not been to Gatlinburg. We have been to Branson, which I know has a lot of the same attractions and shows and things like that. We do have some Branson videos in our playlists if you want to check those out. But we have not been to Gatlinburg. So I know that Christy has been to Gatlinburg. She's within driving distance of there. So, but I have not. Other TV series that I really enjoy, Friends. And I didn't get into Friends actually until around 2015, 2016. And I know it was already off the air by then and it was on DVD at that point. But I came across it at work because when I worked at the chamber, it'd be really quiet in the office. And so I would put on something on the computer to watch or listen to and do work. And this TV show called Friends came up. I'm like, what is this? And so I started watching it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. And so I have that all on DVD, and now it's on HBO Max. It's been really growing up, it's been really interesting. We went from VHS, for me, it went from VHSs to DVDs to DVD services where you could, Netflix started out as this DVD rental service, and you could rent 1, 2, or 3 DVDs at a time, which is you were so excited to get that next DVD in the mail, to now streaming services and Roku, and it makes DVDs and definitely VHS is really a thing of the past. And same way with music. I grew up with cassettes, and then it went to CDs, and then it went to MP3s, and just the and now we're coming back around to vinyl again. So I mean, that's been really interesting too. And I make it sound like I'm so old and I'm 34, but it's a lot of changes since we were kids. And now the 90s fashion is coming back. So that's interesting to see at school. Oh. So in the past couple days, I've gotten 3 swap boxes. And I'm sitting here because in every swap box, you get some sort of candy. So here on my desk, I have chocolate frogs. I have Birdie Bots every flavored beans. and I have Hershey's cookies and cream eggs. Now, the Birdie Box, I am actually saving for July because Sam and I have a trip that we're going on. And so while we are in the car, Sam and I are going to do a taste test of Birdie Box. So that should be a lot of fun to kind of taste test. It says in this one, there's the wrapper's like right over it. Watermelon, vomit, tutti frutti, soap, lemon, sausage, rotten egg, marshmallow, green apple, and something else. I wonder if it's the same in this one. Yeah. Oh, the last one I couldn't read it, and the other one was dirt. So either Sam will do this with me or he... Oh, and there's more. Hold on. Earwax, earthworm, dirt, cinnamon, cherry, candy floss, booger, blueberry, and something else. You know what? Sam, we're not going to be doing this. I think what I'll do, I have 2 5th graders that I work with. And every once in a while, I will put a little treat in their mailbox with a little note. And say, hey, you're doing great. Hey, I'm proud of you. Like on Monday, in a swap box, I'd gotten some star suckers. And so I had 2 of them. And so I took a piece of my stationery and wrote, I think you're a rock star. Do good on state assessments, because I wasn't in their room. And I put that in their mailbox. So these may end up being a random little goodie in their mailbox. They can go home and try earwax or earthworm, because it is not going to be me. The chocolate frogs I will probably keep. I just need to see how many Weight Watchers points they are. They're going to be quite a few, I know, but I will once. It might not be as bad as I think, because the whole chocolate frog is only 90 calories. Let's see. Open up my app if I can put the correct pin in. Okay, so the whole chocolate frog is 5 points, which isn't horrible. I spent 5 points on a bag of chips. Okay, I've got Ziploc bags. I'm curious to see how big it is. Okay, really? Overall, it's not a bad size. Let's see. Nail polish bottle for reference. It's about the length of a nail polish bottle. So, I mean, it's not... Oh, I will probably leave this for Sam. I didn't see it. They are milk chocolate with crisped rice in them. I have had bad... And this is like stems back to 2nd grade. We were doing some sort of lesson. I forget what it was, but we were told we had to eat these chocolate covered crickets, but it was chocolate covered Rice Krispies, and I ended up throwing up that night. I remember it so well. And so, like, I can't eat Crunch bars. I can't eat anything that is chocolate and crunch like that. It wakes me out. It takes me right back there. So all of the chocolate frogs come with a Wizarding World card, and I got Albus Dumbledore. So, it says Hogwarts headmaster, brilliant and often controversial headmaster at Hogwarts, most suited for his 1945 defeat of Grindelwald and his steadfast champion of Harry Potter, Boy Who Lived. Dumbledore's self-proclaimed proudest achievement, however, was featuring on a famous wizard's chocolate frog. So, I have a chocolate frog card of Albus Dumbledore. If Sam doesn't like the chocolate frog, I will probably stick because there's 2 more. I'll stick them with the Birdie Bots and give each of the boys that. So it's going to be a pretty low-key weekend on here. Like I said, we're going to go see the movie tomorrow, and then we'll have a bite to eat there at the movie theater, and then we're going to kind of come home and do some chilling out. I know Sam has some things that he wants to get done in the yard. The grass is starting to kind of start popping up, so we're going to have to move things around so Sam can mow and all the stuff that kind of comes in the spring. So that stuff will probably be done this weekend. And then Sunday is, well, probably last Saturday we got up and went to the gym, which, like, Sam was up and bouncing and ready to go, and I'm looking at him like, do we really have to do this? Do we really need to go to the gym this morning? But I felt good afterwards. I think for me it was just way too early. Like this morning I got up and was out the door by like 7:45. So I think like 8 a.m. is my prime time to go to the gym, especially when I'm home for summer break or on no school days. So I think it was just the fact of like it was 5:30 in the morning, and I'm like, I don't want to get up and go to the gym at 5:30 in the morning. But I'm like, okay, if I do this, then I'm able to do other things. All right, let's just go. Let's just get this over with. And I think we only ended up doing like a half an hour. But today I did an hour, and I wasn't trying to kill myself on it. Like, I think I started out with the speed. Like, I went up to a speed of 3, which I've done multiple times. I'm like, you know what? I'm not in a 3-speed mood today. I'm in a 2-speed mood. So that's what I did. I set it back down to a speed of 2, and I just comfortably walked on the treadmill for an hour. Like, I did have a break. I had to go blow my nose. I still got some sinus stuff going on, and so I needed to blow my nose. And I learned how to pause my machine, so that helped. And then I hung out. 2 of my friends that I know were working at the thrift store today. So I went in there and talked to them for a few minutes before I came home and got cleaned up. But that was like the perfect amount of time. That was the perfect time of day to go. I was almost in there was a lot of people in there though. There were more people than I expected, but I noticed a lot of them were like teachers and other staff that I knew. So I think it's because like there was actually an opportunity to go to the gym today. There was no school today, so they went, and we all kind of were like, okay, we're up and awake like we normally are anyway. So I think that 8 o'clock time frame is like perfect for me. Especially getting ready to kind of think about what summer is going to look like for me, because I don't want to have put in all of this work since January to like fluff it off when it comes to the summer. So I'm every time we don't have school, I am trying. Like, I didn't go over spring break. I will admit I did not go to the gym over spring break. But I've been really trying to make a conscious effort recently to get going down to the gym and putting in some time on the treadmill. And just, even if it's like walking on the treadmill for an hour while I'm like scrolling through TikTok, it really makes the time go by faster. So as of this morning, I am down 35 pounds since we came back from our vacation. My goal is 50 pounds by the time we leave for our July vacation, which is June 30th. Now, typically I do weigh in on Fridays, but because we will be leaving that Thursday when Sam gets off work, I will go ahead and weigh in a day early. I'll weigh in on that Thursday morning so that I don't have to worry about it at all. And then I'm trying to decide if I'm going to take my scale with me or not, and weigh in on the 8th, or if I'm just going to plan to weigh in when we get back on the 11th and, go from there. I haven't quite decided on that yet. And then obviously when we go in December, I will definitely be taking my scale because we'll be there for like 2.5 weeks, and I really want to be able to keep myself in check. Like I said, for July, I just haven't decided yet. I just haven't decided yet. But, well, we've been on here for about 35 minutes, and I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a stream. We thank you so much for everyone who's come to hang out with us, or with me, I guess. We post new videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Today's is a Fitness Friday video, like every Friday. We put up shorts on Sunday, Monday, and Wednesdays. Thank you, everyone, for coming to hang out with me this morning, and we will see you on Monday for another Coffee Corner.